Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that concern the state, void of politics, fear, or favor. A 29-year-old man has died following a hit-and-run crash at the Circle overpass in Accra after reportedly being turned away by three major hospitals due to unavailability of bed space. The victim, Charles Emisa, an engineer at Promasidor Ghana Limited, makers of cowbell milk and other food products, was involved in the crash on February 6th at 10:32 p.m. Ambulance 15 under Charlie Watch received a walk-in alert about the incident. The crew mobilized a minute later and arrived at the scene at 10:35, where Emisa was found lying on the road with profuse bleeding from a deep shoulder laceration. Initial vital signs recorded 10:36 p.m. Blood pressure rising, pulse, respiratory rate 25 breaths per minute, oxygen saturation 99%. The team controlled the bleeding using bandages and applied a cervical collar. At the hospital, the ambulance departed for the police hospital, arriving 3 minutes later. The facility reportedly declined to admit him, citing no available beds. Even the offer to use the ambulance trolley was rejected due to lack of space. The crew then transported the patient to Ridge General Hospital, where he was again refused admission for the same reason. At 11:20 p.m., the ambulance reached Korle Bu Teaching Hospital. Staff there allegedly instructed the crew to continue to the University of Ghana Medical Center, warning that further transport could endanger the patient's life. Despite negotiations, no hospital staff attended to the patient. While still at Korle Bu, Emisa's condition deteriorated and he went into cardiac arrest and was admitted immediately but was unsuccessful. The patient reportedly presented with fixed, dilated pupils, cold skin, and no sign of life. A doctor on duty later certified him dead and instructed the ambulance crew to convey the body to the mortuary. The circumstances surrounding the hospital rejection and the patient's subsequent death have prompted scrutiny of emergency admission protocols, bed capacity management, and responsiveness of major referral hospitals in Accra. This is not the first time such things are happening, and this is not the first time we are hearing of this. But I kept asking myself, why should a hospital lack bed where they will admit a patient, where the patient will need to sleep on for treatment? How? These are basic things that a hospital should never lack. Bed where patients will sleep. And you like how? And then this man just lost his life just like that because there is no bed. And even when they required that he should be treated in the ambulance, they said no. Is this intentional? Or there is more to this? This is not the first time things like this is happening. And I can boldly tell you that 99% of people who die daily do not die because of the disease which they brought to the hospital or the disease that killed them. It's not because of the illness. It's because of the recklessness of some hospital and the recklessness of some nurses and doctors. I'm telling you, 99% of the people who die daily, I wish the dead can be interrogated. Like, you get to know that people die not because of the illness which sent them to that hospital. It's not because of that illness. But it's because of the recklessness of these hospitals and these doctors and the nurses. By force. If you feel like you can't do the work, stop and go and find something else to do. Because when you speak, they feel like, as for nurses and doctors, they come on because the right thing is not being done. How do you send a patient away because there is no hospital? There is no bed. There is no bed. Fine, that is enough. Come and treat the person in the ambulance. And something that can be prevented led to the death of this man. Where are you, okay? Maybe this man is the breadwinner of the family. You have no idea. You have no idea the number of people that this man is sponsoring through education. You have no idea. You have no idea how like significant this man means to his family. You have no idea. And I'm watching a man just like that because there is no bed. There is no bed. This bed issue did not start today. Hospitals complaining about bed issue did not start today. But as I said, these are basic things that should not be lacking in our hospitals. There should be excess of beds, even if the rooms are full. You can treat the person outside. And even OPD, you can treat the person there. But no, that is what we want. That is exactly what we want. I had a counter with a colleague doctor, and we were speaking, and he was like, they brought a patient to the hospital, and this patient was sick. I mean, he needed to be treated immediately because his case was very serious. And then the medicine that they will use to cure this particular patient, they don't have the medicine at the hospital. And then he told me that this medicine should not be something that should get shortened in the hospital. That's a medicine that the hospital needs to have in abundance. Because day in, day out, they bring people. And that medicine saves lives. And because they don't have the medicine, they have to look at the man to die. So, see, a lot of things are going on. Then I asked him, so what will you tell the family? He said the only thing we will tell them is that we are sorry, we've tried our best. God gives and takes. God gives and takes. So, Modie, we are sorry. She said, there are certain illness, it can be treated. But because of some basic things. So who are we to blame? Should we blame the Ministry of Health, the Minister of Health? Should we blame the nurses? Should we blame the doctors? Who are we to blame? Because when you're blaming the nurses will tell you that look to the top. It's the Ministry of Health. The Ministry of Health are also saying that look to the government. The governments are not giving us what they're supposed to give us. So who should we blame? This is sad because I remember when my big brother got exploded. When he was sent to the hospital, the nurse who was being assigned to treat him did whatever he was supposed to do for the day and he left. And then another nurse who was not assigned, who was not on duty, came to treat him. And after that, we had a call that my brother was dead. Said then, it is only God who knew. It is only God. Because my brother was getting better. He spoke so what happened? And even the nurse who was assigned to my brother said she herself, she's surprised. Because my brother was okay. She spoke to my brother. Everything was fine. And then she told my brother that they've assigned me to you. So I'm done with what I'm supposed to do for the day. No one will come here to treat you. So nurse no be one. Why the someone they call her? A drop bay and I call one. Up till now, we've not gotten an answer to that. Up till now, we've not gotten an answer to that. We've not. The number of people who die in our hospital die because of the recklessness of this so-called people who call themselves nurses and doctors. Some, because we have some of these nurses who are so diligent to what they do. We have some of these doctors that are so, they just want to save life. Trust me, not all the doctors and the nurses feel happy when things goes bad. Like the friend I'm talking about, he was like, this is a medicine that should not even go shorting in a hospital. So why don't they have the medicine? And they just have to look at the man to die because there was no medicine. And they can't tell the man. So the person is suffering. They were all just standing there. There is nothing they can do at that point. And they'll come back and tell you that we are sorry. Kai. Hey, yo. I'm told that. If such things, like you've not experienced it before and someone is speaking about it, you just hear it in your ears as if they are singing poem. Or they are reciting poem to you. Or somebody is telling you a fabricated story. Till it happens to you, you understand what I'm trying to say. You will get it. And some time ago, I remember my dad was very sick and he was admitted into the hospital. And then there was this nurse that came around, wanted to inject my dad and all that. God being so good, it looks as if she has forgotten something. So she went back. And then when the doctor came, he was like, who brought this here? My dad was like, one of the nurses. He said, no, this is not the medicine. So you see, please, our nurses, please, we are begging you. If you have problem, keep it in the house, not in the hospital. That is why we are saying that if you don't have the passion, it is not by force. Where you are working with, you are dealing with the lives of people. You are dealing with the lives of humans. Your one mistake will kill someone. And you know the most saddest part? The hospital will never accept it. They will never accept it. So my head, they will show themselves. They will not. They will not accept the fact that it was their mistake. Never. So major to mupa. If you knew what killed that person, the person you knew and all that, like by now, you see a lot of hospitals and a lot of doctors and a lot of nurses. Because most of them do not even know what they are doing there. They don't know what they are doing there. Bed. Because of bed. Common bed. We've lost this man just like that. Just like that. And some of this nurses, pride. It's not about pride though. It's not about pride. Because the person who comes to the hospital, we know some of these patients they behave some way. But that where you are working is a life-saving center. That is what you do. That is what you have purported in your heart to do. So you do it and you do it well. And then you do it and then you end up killing people. Breadwinners of family and all that. And then you come up and the next time I hear somebody come in to tell me that nyame de be yaw no. When they are done with their things, they'll come and stand in front of you and tell that who pumped that into our head? Say then it ends there. And no, like please, I think the government needs to take this up. If possible, if the hospital can be sued, 3 hospitals, Korle Bu, Rich, you see need bed, and they are all saying the same thing. Minister of Health, mental candor. What is going on? It's becoming too much. It's becoming too much. A lot is going on, and they are covering it up. Please. And sometimes the doctors and the nurses, they are even afraid to speak. Because of course they say assemble. So please, Minister of Health, a lot is going on. Oh, we are begging you. Be up and doing. We can't keep losing people because of bed. And bed is so your day. Bed in you want to. Ayo. Thank you for making time with me on Devil's Screen.